Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a foundation wear test and review. I literally just got out of bed to film this video for the day, but it is the LA Girl Pro Matte HD High Definition Long Wear Matte Foundation. I've been testing this out probably for 3 weeks now. On and off, switching between this foundation and another one I will be filming a video also over. It's like the new Physicians Formula one. I have some opinions about this, some good things and some bad things. So I really wanted to sit down and film this video today. It's going to be like an 8-hour wear day. It is currently 8:30 in the morning and I normally get home from school around like 3:30 on these days, 4 o'clock. So it's definitely going to be a long day for wear. So if you want to see this foundation all day long and see what it looks like at the end of it, then please keep on watching. Okay, so like I did say, I've been testing this out for a while now. I have opinions. I have good and bad opinions about it. When this first came out, I literally was so excited. As you may know, I have oily skin. I am always on the hunt for an oil controlling primer or foundation or both. I just realized the drugstore does really lack in that department when it comes to things. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, this is gonna be matte, this is gonna be great. It's not that great in my opinion. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that, but to me it's really not that good. So I have like a little paragraph written right here that I wrote down one day. I said, pretty matte by end of day, looked a little heavy and cakey when on, nice with the Rimmel primer. And of course I'm talking about my OG. I love this Rimmel primer so much. This is the only primer I found that actually keeps me the most matte throughout the day using this foundation. Any other primer, I literally look like I'm wearing like Pro Glow on. It's terrible. Look streaky with a brush at first with my Real Techniques one, and I'm talking about my like Artiste dupe one. But once it has set, it looks better. Also won't stick between my eyebrows. And this is when I use the Milani stick primer. Once again, I bought this thinking it was gonna be the best thing ever. It's the Milani Instant Touch Up Blur Stick, and sometimes foundation will not stick on top of this. And this one definitely will not, so this is not a good combo right here. Also used Smashbox primer that day with the Tarte concealer and it looks really great. When I used the Smashbox primer that day, I used the straight up silicone one, like the regular one that's clear. And then I also said I put that on at 9 a.m. and come 3:30, I was very oily with those primers and cakey looking. That is my huge complaint with this foundation, is it does not keep me matte. I feel like this foundation is a very good short-term foundation because the first 4 or 5 hours looks fantastic. I'm matte, I have great coverage, but throughout the day and the Texas heat, because it is getting hotter here, I look oily very fast, and you will see that. I'm only going to apply this primer on one side of my face today, and the other side I'm not going to put anything down. I just want y'all to see how the foundation works. So a little bit insight on this bad boy before we go ahead and jump in. This is $8.99 at Ulta. I did get mine at Ulta. Literally, I asked the lady when I was there, like, do y'all have this? She was like, no, we haven't got that yet, but I knew she was lying because I knew it was already in stores. And I went to my stepmom and I was like, hey, you know, this store doesn't have it, they're not gonna get it. I'm gonna go to a different Ulta. And she overheard that and the lady comes up to me and goes, what shade do you need? I'm like, seriously? Like, you could have just told me the first time that you had it, because I knew you had it in the back. Y'all just get lazy and don't want to put it out. That's how I actually acquired this little guy. But she kind of shade matched me in the back, and this one kind of matches me. It does oxidize a little bit, so I always try to blend it really far down. But I have it in the shade Natural, which is actually the 4th from the lightest shade. They have a pretty good amount of shades. They have 14 colors. I would have to say their darker shades are actually pretty good compared to their light shades. I feel like it's kind of like an even amount between the light and dark shades. It's a pretty good mix, especially for being drugstore, because most people nowadays, you know, only release like 8 colors and that doesn't suit everybody. It says LA Girls Pro Matte Foundation evens out skin tone, soft matte finish, long wearing, lightweight formulas, and medium to full coverage, provides complete natural looking coverage and even skin tone. I will have to say the coverage on this is pretty good. I hope my makeup looks good today because I actually have to give my speech presentation today in speech class. And I hate public speaking. I mean, being a cheerleader I was a cheerleader for, I don't know, like 10 or 12 years. I had no problem getting in front of the whole school, you know, just, I mean, it wasn't a problem for me. Like, sitting here talking to a camera and everything like that and having a conversation, it doesn't really bother me. But girl, You get me up in front of a class of 30 people and tell me to speak for 5 minutes on a topic about sustainable eating, like I can't do it. So I'm going to apply this primer on this side only today. This is my Holy Girl primer for oily skin. Ever since I got oily, I trust this. I need the purple one. I need to rebuy a new one because that one's actually almost empty, but this is the only primer I trust. I freaking love it. I trust it more than anything in the world. And no matter what foundation I use, it will normally always look really good. So while that's sinking in, the packaging of this, I have to say, for $8.99 is really nice. You do get a pump with this, which is perfect. The bottle is glass and it's like a nice frosted glass, so you definitely don't get cheaped out or anything like that. Their pro whatever it is, their first foundation they release is in, you know, that kind of plastic packaging around the same price range as this. This is definitely a lot nicer. So normally what I will do is I will pump out probably about 2 pump and a half, I would say. Normally I'll go with like 2 pumps though. And it's not really a super runny foundation. It runs a little but not a lot. And I'm actually going to put some off on the side because I want y'all to see how it oxidizes. So I'm going to leave like this here or like this piece over here. That way we can see how it oxidizes. Because it is kind of already starting to, if you were to look how much darker that is compared to the pump right here. So just gonna start blending this out. Like I did say, you can blend it with a brush. I just feel like a sponge makes it look a tad bit better, and I feel like it doesn't look streaky like I did say when I wrote all that stuff down. Another thing I do have to say about this foundation is I noticed it one day after school when I was getting in my car. It settles in your fine lines so bad. I normally go like this a lot, and I get these 2 lines right here in between my eyebrows, and they were like crater deep. They were so bad. So definitely use like a line smoothing, line filling primer. Definitely something may have some silicone in it to kind of prevent that from happening, because it looked terrible. But this is what the side with primer looks like versus obviously no foundation. I think it looks pretty good, and it is pretty satin matte to the touch. It's a little sticky, but it's not like super sticky. I do have to say, like, the Tarte Shape Tape Matte foundation that I've also tried and have been using is definitely a lot like matter to the touch versus this one. And the Tarte one keeps me matte all day long. I really don't have to worry about that one. I'm actually just going to add a little bit more foundation. Sometimes I pump out the right amount. Sometimes I have to pump out a little bit more. And I feel like when you're using a sponge, it really doesn't make a difference when it comes to blending on primer or no primer side. I feel like if you did use a brush though, I feel like it would definitely blend out better with a primer, because I feel like it kind of does dry down fast if you were to like put it on your brush or maybe like kind of dot it all over your face. Okay, so this is what we are currently looking like. As you can see, it's pretty medium to full coverage. This is definitely full coverage for me at least. You could definitely build it up a lot more. You can see like my little freckles kind of peeking through right here. And then I do have like a little blemish up here you can still see. But it is pretty full coverage. Like I did say, it feels great at first. It's like a nice satin matte finish. It's not sticky or anything like that, and it feels really good. It doesn't feel heavy. That's why I think this is a perfect like short time foundation. But you can see it has oxidized. That is extremely dark compared to what we were, and this is shade Natural, so I feel like if you are any lighter than me, I can pull this off because I really do blend this down in my neck, and with summer coming and everything, I do get a little darker. So just keep that in mind, because that is a lot darker than what it originally was. So I'm actually going to go finish the rest of my makeup, get dressed, and then like get ready for school, and then I will do a check-in right before I leave. That way y'all can see what the foundation looks like with all the products on. But like I did say, it has such a good finish right now. You know, it's matte. I can touch it. There's a little bit of transfer, but it's not anything too bad. And I really like it right now. I always, you know, the first time I used this, I was like, wow, I think this is going to be another favorite foundation. I honestly thought this could dupe the Tarte Shape Tape, but then with the wear test and everything like that, it really did change my mind. So I will be right back. Okay, so I just put concealer on, and I was baking my under and everything like that, and I went to sweep the powder away, and you should see how like kind of dry flakes I have around my nose. I don't know if y'all are able to see the dryness on my nose. It's going to be kind of hard to get this close, but I do have dryness like in this area, and I have a little bit going on right here. I wanted to go ahead and address that because I feel like, I don't know, it just looks a little dry. Even from just using powder to set my under eye, it has got dry. So I hope y'all could have seen that. But yeah, now I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. Okay, so just finished all of my makeup and getting ready. When I looked back, like, I don't know, like a couple seconds to y'all, and I was trying to show y'all the dry skin around my nose. Basically, after I did all my makeup, I took it's like one of ColourPop's finishing sprays and sprayed it all over, and it looks a little better. It seems to have helped the dryness. I can still feel it, like it's kind of like sticking up. Other than that, I can't really see anything that's too bad. It was already settling into my forehead lines, and right here I had to go back over it with my sponge. It does look a little cakey in between my eyebrows. I have to say though, it does look a little more flawless on the side with the primer. I feel like it looks a little bit more smoother. And also the side with the primer doesn't look as cakey on this side right here versus this side. So that's really the only complaint. Like I did say, I'm matte right now. I'm matte for a good amount of time. It is currently 10 o'clock, so I'm not gonna do another check until I get home, which is gonna be around, like I said, around 4. So yeah, this is kind of what we're working with right now. I like it right now, minus the like fine line forehead thing and everything like that, but I can't seem to ever fix that problem. So I just try not to let it bother me. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad right now. So I will do another check-in when I get home, and y'all can see basically what it looks like after a full day. Okay, so it is a little bit closer to 4:30 right now, and this will be my final check-in of the day. So I can already tell you right now, just from looking in the mirror right here, the side that I had the primer on definitely is not as sticky as the side without primer. I am very dewy. Chin, my forehead, all right here. But on this side, it's just not as shiny. You can see the highlight. So this is why I have a problem with this foundation, because by itself, it's not matte. You almost just have to put a mattifying primer to make this foundation matte, which does suck. But I mean, it's just so dewy, and I don't know. Maybe if I use my Becca Evermatte primer, or Evermatte, yeah, I think it's Evermatte primer. That really sucks the life out of your skin. This would probably be a really good matte foundation. It's not matte on its own, which does suck. You can just see it's so like wet on the side. That's really the only problem I have with it. It did sink into these lines a little bit, and it does look a little cakey around like the tip of my nose right here. Other than that, it looks perfectly fine. It wore off a little bit down here. And that's pretty much it though, but it's just the oil is what I have a problem with, because it's a lot on this side, because I had no oil controlling products on that side. So it's really the only thing. You know, you can blot throughout the day, you can apply more powder, but that's really the only issue with the oil on that side. So yeah, I mean, I still have mixed feeling about this foundation. I think I really need to find a good primer with it, or just, you know, apply a little more of the Rimmel one, maybe pair it with my Becca one. It's just, I think once you have a really good oil mattifying primer, you will be like in the money pot with this foundation, because it's a really nice foundation. It's just the oiliness and how it kind of settles is just a little much. So I will link this foundation below. Like I did say, it is on Ulta's website. It should be in stores, so you should have pretty much easy access to if you are interested in it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you found it pretty informative, since I have been trying this foundation out for a couple weeks now. So I have more of an opinion about it versus a first impression. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.